Hello, I'm back. I just felt inspired to play the guitar once again. So we're going to play a song. We're just going to clear the space initially, right off the bat. But what this video will be speaking about is how to find yourself. How to find oneself. It's a loaded topic, but it can be done. And I already have 2 more videos in this. I don't know if it's going to be a series. I don't know what the deal is with this, but I do know we have 2 more videos about this coming soon. The third one being very special because I'm going to put some of the video skills to work and create something that I've never created before. An experience video. A story message. So I'm excited to see how that comes out, but that'll take more preparation and planning. Not necessarily more preparation, but I guess more editing. It takes more editing. And I'm actually excited to do it. And I'm just so excited to do this like full time. To be able to create inspiring and thought-provoking and mind-expanding messages and tell those stories through one of the most powerful art forms in the world, being film and video, which is the fusion of story and message and music. Oh man, it's going to be good. So I'm just going to start now, right? Because if not now, when? And you can't wait for the external circumstances to give you the conditions to make you feel 100% ready. You got to start now, and then the conditions will change over time, but you don't change yourself and the behaviors to get a certain change out of the reflective conditions of your reality. You change for the sake of following your flow, following your creative inspiration, following your creative joy, and that connects you back to yourself. So I'm not going to create these videos, and I'm not creating these videos to get anything out of this. Although my intention is to build a community and to build an opportunity to get paid to play and to get paid to help and serve, to trade that value for value. It's not for the money because I don't need the money. It's for the joy of connecting back to myself and letting myself express myself once again. Returning back to the state of the inner child and playing and being in joy and in flow and creating as the creator that I am. So this is a reminder for you, if you're watching this video and you found yourself on this video, you're a creator at your core. So what are you not creating? What are you holding back on? What is the message that is aching to get out of you? What are you depriving the world of because of fear? Because there's people out there that need to hear it from you. They need to hear your message in the unique way that is colored by your unique life experience and delivered with your unique perspective and lens on the world. There's people out there that need you. They need you to open up and let go of the resistance that's stopping you from creating your magic, from creating your art. And maybe you're at a different point on the path where it makes sense to focus on the internal and build your own internal masterpiece and refine your own personal symphony of the multidimensional harmonic being that you are. But at some point, you'll hear the call to go out into the world and share and let your song be heard. So I'm here for you through the entire process. I truly am. I support you. I know you can do it. You have it what it takes. You have it within you. You have that spark. It's time to let it be free. Fan your flame. Make it happen. Allow it to happen. It's not a making, it's an allowing. It's the removal of the resistance and the limitations of fear and what you think you need to have in order and the way that the external reality needs to be in order for you to do X, Y, and Z. It's all just a construct of your mind. You don't need any of it. There's a way. There's always a way. At least to get started, there's always a way. And then the next step you take will reveal the next step, and the path of golden light to your better future will illuminate itself to you as you move through it. It's the only way it'll work. It's the only way it'll happen. You have to get going on the path. You have to be willing to step forward into the darkness without seeing where exactly the path is going to lead. You may know the feeling and the vibration that's good of the end. It's maybe a big checkpoint down, and that's your goal. But the road there, you don't have to know it. You don't have to know exactly what it looks like. It will wind and twist and turn, and oftentimes that winding path is the faster path to get to your better future. It is your higher life path is the winding path. It's the scenic route. It's the road less traveled. Because although it may be longer in distance, it is experienced through our time-space reality as faster because it is more aligned with you. And because of that weave, it is avoiding certain pitfalls and weaving through the obstacles that may take you off your path. So to get on that soul's higher path, it's about letting go and dissolving of the things that are not serving you anymore and causing resistance in your energetic field. Hi, if you're new here, my name is Jaden, and this is PathTune, where we together are charting a course towards the shores of your higher potential. In this channel, we talk about a variety of topics, ranging from the practical goal setting to the mystical esoteric. And it's all about evolving your personal frequency over time to match the frequency of the you that lives in your highest and best timeline, so that you can step on your highest life path now and begin to walk the road to your better future. So if that sounds interesting to you, I invite you to subscribe and join the channel and join the journey to our own self-discovery. I'm excited to have you here, and thank you for tuning in. This song it's an older one that I wrote with a buddy of mine. How this one happened was, and I haven't played in days or a week. I don't know. I don't know time. It just flies. But, I could be like, you're not warmed up. You haven't been singing today. And it doesn't matter, man. It's about letting the flow happen, letting the music flow through me, because it raises my vibration. It puts me into a certain state. And that's why I wanted to pick up the guitar in the first place. I didn't even know that I was going to actually record this. But then the song, as I decided to put the capo on, and then I heard that, and I was like, oh, I know what song I'm playing. So here we go. We're going to use the guitar and my voice to clear the space in this video. As we do, then we'll jump in to everything that's on this screen that I've had up this whole time. And this is just the beginning of a multi-video series. Maybe it'll be a playlist, maybe not. I don't know. But this is just beautiful stuff. It's the freaking journey of being lost and then getting found, finding yourself. And maybe you can resonate with that journey. Maybe you feel lost right now, and that's why you're on this video. I'm here to tell you it's going to be okay. you will find yourself again. And I'll share some ideas with you to expand your awareness to other possibilities that will ultimately help you understand and understand that you're exactly where you're meant to be right now. This song is called Breakdown, and that is fitting considering we're going to talk about breakdowns. And honestly, I used to record this. When I wrote this song, it was at the Capo 4. Yeah, this is gonna get in my way. Whatever, we're just going for it. Can I break this down for you? Can I make you want to move away? Away. Can I break this down for you? Can I make you fall and lose your way? Your way. Can I make this last for me? Can I make you want to show that my intentions are right? Let's make some plans tonight. If your intentions are right, then let's go through the night. We can find out what's wrong, what's right. Am I free to walk through your doorway? I don't want unanswered questions today. Can you be my baby? Is that what I'm asking? Can you be there for me when I'm down? Can you give your life for me now, darling? You are something more than divine. More than divine, yeah. Can you be mine, hey, forever, baby, forever, baby, yeah. I am feeling for you, and I wanna show how your feelings through you are incredible. I am feeling for you, and I wanna show how your feelings through you are incredible. Oh, 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 yeah, yeah, yeah. Will I see you on a beach 10 years down the street with another man? He'll take you home. Will I be unnoticed on a bench as you walk by? Or will you be right next to me? Which situation will it be? Oh, darling, you are so we take these words for real from me, darling. Take my love for you, it's free. Do-do-do-do. Will you come with me? Will you adore me as I do you? Will you love me when my skies are gray? All these questions seem to stray. Not today, we'll be fine. Little tipsy of a glass of wine. Don't let that influence. Don't let that influence your answer. Your answer. The words are in on the line. Oh yeah, yes or no is fine. Your answer. What is it, girl? Maybe doesn't work. No will tear me down. Yes, a yes will turn a smile from a frown. Go, maybe doesn't work. No will tear me down. But yes, a yes will turn a smile from a frown. Ooh, I am feeling for you, and I wanna show how your feelings throw you are incredible. I am feeling for you, and I wanna show how your feelings throw you are incredible. Oh yeah, dude. I kind of forgot some of the words there for a little bit, but we still pushed through it. Let me know what you think of that song. That was cool. I like it in the lower octave. I do. That was nice. It wasn't necessarily a lower octave. It was 2 steps down. It's supposed to be like, can I break this down for you? But, I think I like it in the lower one now. I'm surprised I remembered as much lyrics as I did with that. But cool. That was good. I liked it. All right. So, we're going to jump in on how to find yourself, where you're not really lost. You may feel lost, but you're right where you're meant to be. And I'm just happy you're here because you're choosing to be here. So, oh yeah, this is going to be good. Let me just put this guitar down. Okay. So, how to find yourself. It's going to be good. It's going to be fun. It's going to be a journey. It is a journey. So, how to find yourself is kind of a paradox. Like most things are. Let's first talk about who you think you are versus who you actually are. Who you think you are is a construct. And this is something the real you already knows. So this is me speaking to that real you, saying, wake up, remember. It's just a reminder. It's a friendly reminder of what you already know. But my friend, you are so much more, so much greater than what your mind may tell you that you are. So you got to refine that perspective and train the mind to see yourself for your true greatness, because there is greatness within you. I'm telling you. So your self-concept is largely a product of what other people told you about yourself. That's how we know who we are, largely. At least from a egoic perspective. The ego learns about itself by feedback we get from our environment, by other people telling us about ourselves. through our childhood. So it's almost like one way to look at this is that you're a star, right? You're a star. And you are a star. You're a shining star. And everything that you're made of is stardust. So you're basically a star walker. But you're a star. And then you have... I thought about making this a black hole. Maybe there's something better. Maybe it's a planet. Because a black hole seems too magnificent and portal-like for it to be this. So maybe we say it's a planet. And we save the black hole for something grander. Yeah, that's what I'm feeling. So here's the planet but it's like a massive planet. The reason I wanted to do a black hole is because stars orbit black holes. But stars don't orbit planets. But maybe you think maybe the star has given so much power to that planet, so much of its own power in belief, that it has inflated the perception of this planet. And what this planet is other people's conceptions of you. All through your life. Trying to draw this like in more of an elliptical way. Can we try that one more time? It's like the star would be... trying to draw in 3D. Something like that. So the star is orbiting around. Yeah. It's better, sort of. And so your essence has been orbiting around this planet of belief systems given to you by others, by the way others have observed the past version of you, drawn conclusions, labeled, and then fed it back to you, and then reaffirmed something within your mind to say, yes, I am this way. So you, for a while through life, we start to orbit around the way we are in relation to other. Because we largely know ourselves by contrast with the other. If there was no other, what would we compare ourselves to? How would we differentiate and create a sense of individuality to ourselves if there were no others? So you see how, in order for there to be a you, an individual, there needs to be others. But then what happens is those others, and they're not to say they're doing this maliciously, but the feedback that you get from the others goes both ways. It starts to self-inform. It starts to reinforce. It starts to and continues to play a part in your own self-concept and the evolution of yourself and the idea of you, your perception of yourself. This is Alan Watts, this is really what I got this idea was from Alan Watts, and he once said that who we believe we are is largely shaped by what others have told us. Parents, teachers, peers, society, they hand us labels. Smart, sensitive, difficult, loud, too much, not enough, need work. And we internalize those voices as truth. But there's a vast difference between who you've been told you are and who you actually are. So my question to you today, my friend, is what if who you think you are is just a collection of other people's opinions? What if who you think you are is just a collection of other people's conceptions and opinions? You've been told who you are since the moment you were born. But what if all of that was just noise? And you might feel lost. You might feel this disconnection from this conception of who you think you are. But maybe that's because it's largely based on what other people have told you you are. So as we continue through this video, we're going to be breaking free of that and showing you how it's possible through the darkness, through the getting lost. You have to get lost sometimes so that you can be found. You have to let the old version of you dissolve, fall away, lose your track in the pattern of the role you're playing. And that can be a confusing, scary process. It can be uncomfortable. The ego's losing its footing. Who am I? It's the biggest question in the world. I was watching a video and it was like a skit or something where people up in heaven, they get to, if they got one question to ask God, what would it be? And most of the time, a majority of time, what that question ends up being is, who am I? It's one of the most mysterious questions. Who am I? And the paradox about it is that you'll never really know, because you are the light, and the light doesn't illuminate itself. Just like the knife doesn't cut itself, or you can't touch the tip of this finger with the tip of this finger, or you can't see behind your own eyes, or you can't bite your own teeth. It's a weird concept to think about, because the mind, it is outside the event horizon. Maybe the black hole was made for you. Maybe this black hole is like infinity, and this is closer to the real you. And this event horizon is the edge, of conception and perception, of concepts and perceivability. We can't even conceptualize what is beyond that event horizon. So maybe that there's something to that about why it is such a conundrum of the mind. Hey Siri, what does conundrum mean?
Conundrum means a confusing and difficult problem or question.
I got that one right. It's a conundrum. It's something that you can't fully know. So it like makes your brain itch. Can you feel it? To try to comprehend something that is incomprehensible. It's like asking what God is. God is so much more than any of us could possibly even conceive. So much grander and greater, the creator energy, the spark of the universe, of all existence, is so much grander than what we can conceptualize as an idea. Whether it's a figure or a persona or just an idea, a concept like source. It is so much more than anything we could label with our minds. And so is the real you. The real you is on the other side of that event horizon. And that's why I like that idea of eyes are the windows to the soul, because behind the pupil, what are the pupils? Black holes. Kind of fits, doesn't it? Kind of fits. It's infinity. It's darkness. It's the unknown. So there is essence in the darkness, in the infinite space. So as we go through the transition of your own enlightenment or awakening or letting go of the past version of you so that you can live the new version out more fully, express yourself more, step into your own authenticity, walk the path to your highest timeline. There's an element of darkness to that because, like we said, the path will illuminate itself as you go, but the path is dark because you've never done it before. It's not a well-trodden path. It's unique to you. No one's walked the path. It's a path that was destined for you and you only. Perfectly tuned to your vibration. It's a cool idea, huh? But you can see how the concept of yourself, and maybe you've done work on letting some of that go. I'm sure you have. But there's still aspects about yourself and how you perceive the concept of me, how it's intimately related with or driven by other people's reinforcement of their ideas about who we are, because we can't fully even ever know ourselves, especially because we are a moving, evolving, ever-growing being. So if you put yourself into a box, you just grew right out of the box like last moment. Every moment we're shifting and growing, shifting from timeline to timeline. One perspective is billions and billions of times per second. At every single moment we make a decision or have a thought, it's a different scenario. It's a different timeline. You could step into a different version of yourself. You can at any moment choose to live an entirely different way. You can live one way for 20 years and then decide to live an entirely different way and tear up that script from this moment forward. I'm not saying that's easy. You have programming, you have habits, but it is possible. And all it takes is that one decision. So what can spark a decision like that? And is it fully your decision, or is it fully your ego's decision, or was it all part of the path that you came here to walk as a human? Was it planned by your soul? That's an idea. That's a perspective. It's getting into the idea of destiny. What is your destiny? Have you thought about that? Do you believe in destiny? I like the idea of destiny. But I do believe that we have influence over our destinies. I believe that we that this life is a choose your own adventure. And you may have multiple different destinies that you could live out. And it's up to whatever you decide to do. But whatever path you choose to walk, that becomes your destiny. So that's empowering, right? It's not like it's happening to you, it's happening for you as you are the creator of your better future. So, this sacred unraveling, this is where you bring in your soul, your higher self, and unravel who you thought you were, that was largely created by other people's opinions and conceptions of you. And this is getting to the point where now your ego as the star starts to orbit the higher you, the higher self. And you can also view this as God, right? Like we said, on the other side of event horizon is the unknown. So it's who am I, but it's also what is God? What is the creator of existence? It's the ideas that are beyond our comprehension. One of which is who am I? It's outside the realm of your mind. But this getting lost, maybe you felt like you were lost at some point. Maybe you feel like you're lost now, and that's why you're watching this video. But finding yourself often begins with getting lost, with isolation, with changes happening, new changes, sudden changes in your life. It might be triggered by some level of a spiritual awakening, and I believe that there are many levels of awakening. An awakening is similar to the idea, and I've talked about this in previous videos, but the idea of a breakthrough. Pretty similar idea, which is breaking through levels of consciousness, expanding your consciousness and your awareness, which go hand in hand, your conscious awareness. But it's more than your conscious being awake awareness. It's allowing yourself to step into who you really are, the fullness of who you really are, the expansive, multidimensional being that you really are. Along this path of this sacred unraveling, where we might find ourselves getting lost, feeling like we don't belong, feeling things don't fit anymore, old situations, old relationships, old circumstances, they no longer resonate or feel like they fit with who you are. And then there may be a time during this process of this unraveling where things start to fall away so that the new life, the new you can be born. There is this, skipping down here, but this sacred liminal space of the in-between worlds where you're letting go of one reality, but you're not quite there to the next reality. You haven't quite built the vibration. You haven't expanded the vibration enough and built the belief systems enough to hold the vibration of the new reality. So you're existing in this void of darkness, this liminal space of transformation. And that transformation, just like a butterfly, a caterpillar turning into a butterfly, what happens to the caterpillar? It dissolves. It literally melts away. And that is the transformation, is the dissolving. So this sacred unraveling is a dissolving. And when you're starting to dissolve old parts of yourself, as you're expanding your awareness and your consciousness and noticing how certain things don't fit anymore, old, outdated, archaic belief systems no longer are compatible with your updated processing system or your updated software of how you're choosing to perceive the world based on the new information and belief systems that you've installed. The more you continue to operate in this new updated way, the old weeds wither out of lack of attention, because your attention is the water. So how to get rid of those old belief systems is to stay operating in the new frequency and hold the line. And you will be tested to go back. You will be triggered. You will be pulled back by your past self that doesn't want to change. It's scared of the change. It's scared of the unknown. But you have now understood and understood that there is no need to be afraid of the unknown. When you were a child, you were totally fine with the unknown. Children do something that they've never done before every day. They're stepping into new situations, new scenarios. They're super curious, trying new things. They're stepping into the unknown for most of your life when you first come into this world. So it's not that we have a natural fear of the unknown, because we were totally fine with it at one point, but somewhere along the way, the ego developed this fear of the unknown. As we collected more and more data about our environment, we felt more secure. We felt like we know what's up. We know what's going on. And somewhere along that path of learning and being fed belief systems and programs and opinions and reinforcing ideas about who you are and the way the world works, somewhere along that journey, we started to think that we're afraid of the unknown. But the unknown is where the magic is. So when you allow yourself to be in that darkness, that void, where you can't really see where things are going, you can't really see exactly what's happening, how do you get through that state of feeling lost? Well, there's an element of trust. Some may say faith. But how do you have faith in something or trust in something that you don't fully know or believe? Like Earl Nightingale said, as long as he didn't say this exactly, but it's persistence. As long as you persist in taking the next step when the course is clear, that is trusting your internal guidance system, following where you feel called. What action should I take next? Following that intuitive pull, taking the inspired action. What are you interested in? What is exciting you the most and sparking your curiosity out of any other option? Whatever one is at the top, follow that in any given moment. And you begin to follow that guiding principle of synchronicity of your higher self guiding you, or God, or the universe. But when you're in that space, you're feeling lost. But to have faith, Earl Nightingale said that persistence is just another word for faith. To continue to persist despite not knowing how it's all going to work out or how it's going to happen, to continue to persist is another word for faith, because if we didn't have faith, we would never persist. So it's knowing that you will make it through. You will make it through. You will make it through. I will make it through. I am making it through. I will continue to move. I will not stay here. And maybe that movement feels or looks like reflection, looks like introspection, pondering certain ideas. Maybe it looks like taking a break and resting and just being with yourself. Maybe that's what you're feeling called to do at some point. Other times it may be taking an action or looking something up or researching something or an idea or exploring something or doing a certain action, cleaning something, letting something go. Letting something go. But in that process of the sacred unraveling, in that darkness of feeling like you're lost and you're struggling, you feel you have the perceptual experience of feeling like you're struggling to find yourself, of who I am. It's like you never really are going to know, but you can get a better grasp by connecting to the present moment. And the reason everything might feel like it's falling apart is so that you can find out who you really are and connect with who you really are. In order to do that in the darkness, there's an aspect about isolation. You may be pulled towards isolating yourself. And the reason that this isolation period is necessary for the dissolving of the old and welcoming of the new and the transformation is because when you're constantly being fed and reinforced other people's reinforcements about who you are, they don't know the you that you're becoming. They know the past version of you. So when you are constantly in contact and you're allowing the thoughts, ideas, and actions and opinions of other people, even to influence you on a subconscious level, you're actively entangling yourself with the version of you, the conception of you that they know. When you are consistently dealing with certain people in an environment, especially if they know you from many years ago, the way that they view you is much different than the way you view yourself, much less who you really are. So in order to anchor in and stabilize the new frequency of your new vibration, of your new self, it takes a period of isolation for you to be able to sit in that darkness of being lost and to not have the outside stimuli or perspectives giving you any information and telling you who you are. And quantum entangling you with old previous timelines or past versions of you that they still think that you are, or they still have a perception of you where these character traits are a part of you. And because they believe that about you, even if they don't say it directly consciously, because they believe that you are this person, this conception of who they think you are, when they're interacting with you, that can influence your energetic field and it can entangle you with that old version of yourself more so. So in order to stabilize and anchor the new frequency, many of the times, it takes a period of isolation and a willingness to be alone, but you're never really alone. And that's what you find out in the darkness, is that you have yourself. And when you can become your own best friend, when you could become the best friend you could ever ask for, and you can trust yourself and rely on yourself, and you know you always got your back. And when you start to get to the point through the process of going through this void and being lost, then having the courage and faith to be alone and start to get to know yourself better and being curious about finding out more or just discovering more about yourself. It all starts to form. The stardust of a supernova or of a nebula, right? A nebula is a star nursery. The gases start to swirl and collect and accumulate and form, and a star is starting to form, and then gravity starts to pick up and it starts to spin, and then it starts to heat up, and then the density increases, and then it gets more violent, and there's this burning ball, and then all of a sudden, bam, a star is born. Boom, blast, the gamma rays shoot out from both ends of the pole, and you see that a new star has been born. A new version of yourself has been born through the darkness. Through nothing came something. But was it really nothing? Was that being lost in the dark really darkness, or was it a nursery? Was it a nebula? Was it fertile soil for the new tree to be sprouted? So in this process, you might be willing to separate yourself, not forever, but for some amount of time, to de-entangle yourself with the old version of you that other people are reinforcing. Spending more time alone, so that you can begin to start enjoying your own company. And that's getting to the point where you're not needing other people. Sure, having teamwork is great, and that's how you can really go far in life. Teamwork makes the dream work. You can't outcompete a team with a single person. Can't be done. So you can accomplish way more in this life and do bigger, greater things and provide a bigger positive impact in the world with a team. So I'm not saying isolation is the end result, but during this process of how to find yourself, there is a phase of isolation. And it looks different for every person. To the degree of that isolation happens is whatever you're feeling called to. But in this process also comes a lot of change, and being open to embrace learning, to embrace that change is a crucial skill to build. Because I talked about this in one of the last videos, but the nature of reality is change. Everything is constantly moving. Everything is vibrating. Nothing is truly still or stagnant. So change, like you are change. Change is nature. You are change. You are nature. So change is your true nature. So when you start to allow the change, allowance, then you're connecting back to your own true nature. You might experience something like a spiritual awakening, like I said, which is a level of breakthrough where the mold of what you thought was real, or you thought that was the event horizon of your conception of what reality is, that event horizon got shattered. And then you find out there's another one. It's almost like with the black hole analogy, it's going inward. And so it's like every outside event horizon that we shatter, and we go in, we find out there's another event horizon going closer and closer inward into the infinite void of the black hole. But that could also be viewed in the opposite way, as above, so below, right? Where you have your state of consciousness. And I've drawn this a couple times now. or conscious awareness, and then something comes in, piece of information, smashes that, and then you find out there's another level, and there's another level, and then you're expanding outward as you're having a breakthrough, and that breakthrough breaks open a level of consciousness, and now you're out here. There's more. There's more an expanded view of reality. But I love that, how I just kind of reversed that and applied it to the black hole. It's like that breakthrough could also be breaking through what you thought was the event horizon. But you broke it. You broke the freaking event horizon. Getting closer and closer. So that's, maybe you have experienced that awakening during this getting lost. But how to find yourself is all rooted in being the allowing of this to happen. It's not, it's letting go of resistance. Allowing what's meant to happen to happen. Stop fighting it. It's going to happen either way. Are you going to drag it out for 10 years, or are you just going to flow through it as bestly as you can? And there will be breakdowns. There will be questioning. You will question everything you thought you knew. You might have a breakdown. You might feel like the foundations of your reality are crumbling, and the concept of who you thought you were in yourself is indeed crumbling. So it may be a scary experience. You may have some cries, some fears, some breakdowns. But it all comes back to that persistence. I don't know why I lost the screen share. Let's bring it back. Persist. Interesting. Okay. Well, I don't know how long that happened where you couldn't see that. But it does come down to persisting through the challenges, through the upsets, through the ups and downs, through the holes being punched in your field of what you thought reality was. It all is going to come crashing down. And so to allow that to happen is to allow that sacred unraveling to continue happening for you, because it's happening for you, right? It's not happening to you. This process of becoming who you are meant to become was something that you are destined for. And if you can choose if you want to do that or not. And so you can continue to resist and not look at those deeper questions that are calling you, those desires of wondering and curiosity that is within you. If you don't follow those things, then you can stay living the surface level life. But if you're willing to go deep into the depths of the ocean, not knowing exactly what you'll find, maybe you'll find yourself. And if you allow yourself to go through this process of the questioning and the breakdowning and the awakening and the change and the isolation, and allowing yourself to get lost, to feel like you're lost, it's okay. It's literally part of the process. And if you can look at it that way with this awareness that I'm sharing with you now, then that gives you a greater strength and understanding that this is part of the process. The way I'm feeling, all this turbulence, everything seems like it's falling apart. It is part of the process of me evolving into the next version of myself. So I don't need to be so afraid of it, because I know that this is part of the process now that I've watched this video here with Jaden on PathTune. I'm trying to ease the stress a little bit. It can be really scary and not a good time. I have personally gone through multiple levels, and I'm probably have more. Definitely have more to go. But I've gone through a couple levels of breakthroughs with my own life, and I have spent some time in the void of feeling lost. And it's dark. And you don't know when the sun's going to come up again, because every day it feels like it's just a replay of the day before. But if you don't accept defeat, if you don't ever accept that this is the way life is now and it's never going to change, never accept that. Because it will change, because everything is change. And as long as you continue to take the next step to what you're feeling called to work on, or called to explore within yourself, to reflect on, to start to understand, where did my old self get all of these beliefs? What did I have to believe is true about reality and about myself in order to create those experiences? What beliefs were the roots of those experiences that I created in my recent past that have led to this falling out and this void of feeling like I'm lost? What incompatible belief systems that created this cognitive dissonance where I feel that I'm not aligned with myself anymore? That's not a bad place to be, because you're being aware that there is a disconnection, that there is a misalignment. That's the first step, is being aware of it. Now you can work to start to realign. And part of that process is letting go, letting it dissolve. And it's dismantling that borrowed identity, which came from other people's opinions and conception of you. And it's creating space for that transformation and dissolving. And that's where that isolation starts to come in. Like, isolation is creating space, because you're not constantly being distracted, and your thoughts and attention and awareness are not being taken up by other people. So that's another point or reason why the isolation is for you, because it gives you that space to be with yourself and to learn more about yourself, and to just sit in the void for a little bit and learn what that feels like. And if you're willing to accept that and surrender, that's a huge one. Just surrender to the flow, to the process, to the process. It's a tough thing to do. I'm not saying getting to that point where you just let go and let spirit take the wheel, or your higher self take the wheel. I'm not saying that's an easy thing to get to, but at some point you'll need to get there. Because gripping on to what you thought was real, and what you thought the character of your old version was, and who you thought you were, holding on to all that, how you think reality worked, you can try to hold on, but your higher self's pushing you in another direction. And that's why all this is happening. So the longer you resist, the more you'll struggle. But you start following those breadcrumbs. And those breadcrumbs are those little sparks of light, those little flashes of light in the darkness. There's something there that might light me up, or might draw my attention, or my shiny. It's an idea. It's a inner calling. Following the things that make you feel alive, whether it's going out in nature, going on a walk, looking at something bigger than yourself, thinking about something bigger than yourself, expanding your perception and your perspective to not just be such a narrow lens, looking at things from multiple lenses, doing thought experiments, being more explorative and curious, and doing what makes you feel alive. Those are the breadcrumbs to follow on the path to find yourself. And then finally, it's being willing to be misunderstood. And that was something that it took me a few years to get to this point, and I'm still refining this idea in my consciousness, but for a while there, I actually consciously recognized that I wanted to be understood. I even said it out loud, like, I just want to be understood. I want to feel understood. I recognized that about myself. And so I was searching for like this feeling of being understood by another person. And it was really hard for me to find that from other people. But I craved it. And I recognized that I was craving it. And so then I thought about that some more, and I spent some time with that. I was like, why? Why do I have this desire to be understood? Why do I feel like I need to be understood? And there's a whole video right there, just going into that concept. But it really comes down to when you start flipping the script, and as above, so below, when you look at it from the reverse, rather than trying to be understood by other people, what would happen if I more so seek to understand? And when you start to shift your awareness with the prerogative or motivation to seek to understand both other people and yourself, but start to be curious more and seeking to understand, the result is naturally you start to feel more understood. Paradoxically and ironically, that's what happened to me. I stopped feeling like I needed to be understood. I needed to feel understood by people. The more that I sought to understand. It's kind of weird how that happened, but it just started to happen as it was the opposite reflection. So the more you seek to understand, I found that the more you feel understood. And then that leads to a greater awareness of no one can ever really understand you, because they only see the external perception of you and how you show up and the character you play and what information you choose to share with them about yourself. But there's so much more about you. They're not inside your head. They're not in the POV center of your own frequency. So they can never really know you. One of the ideas was that, to compare it to a book, like somebody may be on, like somebody, no one can ever be on the same page as you. It's just a perspective. It's an idea to look at this. But what if I were to say nobody can ever be on the same page as you? Or you can never be on the same page as somebody else. You might be in the same book. You might be in the same chapter. But no one is ever really on the same page, because the words we use have certain connotations that are reflected through our own life experience, that we build the meaning of words. The way we perceive the world is different, just like a thumbprint is different to every person. Your perspective and your perception of reality is different for every single person. So the lens in which you view your world is coming from your unique perspective, and there's not another one like it in the entire universe. And that is how you read the page, through your perspective. So although you're looking at the same page, you think you're looking at the same page as somebody, you're looking through your lens, they're looking through their lens, yours is colored blue, theirs is colored red. You're seeing blue pages, they're seeing red pages. We're looking at the same page. So no one can ever be fully 100% on the same page, because even that page we're looking at, we see it differently. We're focusing on different aspects of the page, different words, different letters. We have different meanings for the different words, where our attention's drawing to different parts of the page. But we can get close. And maybe there's a more refined analogy with that. But it's accepting that you can never really be 100% on the exact same page as somebody. And that is just another way of saying that you can never be 100% fully understood by somebody. And so once you come to that truth, that allows you to let go of the desire to be understood, because it is not a realistic desire. It's a desire, but it's not a feasible goal. So that's where it comes down to, like, I just kind of mapped out the pathway, but part of this dismantling of the borrowed identity is being willing to be misunderstood. So I just kind of helped bring you there to that point through those different ways of looking at it, but and my own personal experience. But it's being willing to be misunderstood, because you will be misunderstood. 100% guaranteed you will be misunderstood. So the sooner you accept that, surrender that, surrender to the flow of the process, the faster you will get through this feeling like you're lost and finding yourself once again as you reconnect with the greater you that you are, and you always have been. In a future video, I will go over that sacred liminal space of the in-between worlds, the void. We talked about the overall process, but there's something really special about that void of the being lost, of that sacred liminal space. So I'm going to do some interesting videos with that. We'll do some guided meditations. I'll get some music in there. I'm going to script something out and then read it. And then we can create an experience for you to actually navigate this on your own journey within your own consciousness, and not just listen to me go over and explore the concepts, but actually roll up your sleeves and do some work and take some steps along your own path. And I can be a guide for you through that process. And I would like to create an experience to help you find your way and help you walk your path to finding yourself once again. And maybe in the future, once you think you found yourself, maybe that version will fall apart. But it's an evolution layered cyclic process. But it's just wonderful. It's so wonderful. It's filled with wonder. It is just, that's why we're here. To forget and then remind ourselves, to discover, to expand, to grow, to learn, to evolve, to have the fears, have the doubts, and do it anyway, to take the leap into the unknown and see what happens next. So, thank you so much for being here with me today and in this present moment. I truly am grateful for your attention. Thank you for investing your time in yourself to expand your consciousness and your mind with these ideas. I hope that they served you well and that they will serve you in your journey. I look forward to seeing you in the next video. And if you enjoyed this video, please consider sharing it with somebody. Maybe somebody pops in your head that might enjoy this video. Just shoot it on over through a text. You don't even have to say anything. Just shoot it on over. That helps get this message out there so it can help more people. If they're feeling like this, if they're feeling lost, I think these ideas are good to be aware of as you go through that process. And it is going to be okay. You will get through it. It is just a matter of how willing you are to let the old dissolve and to let go. And sometimes we need to hold on for a while to really understand that it's in our best interest to let go and that there's nothing actually to hold on to because it's already gone. And that might be sad to think about. And it is sad in some perspectives that the thing you're holding on to is already gone. But it's just, you can still give it love and gratitude for the impact it did make on your life and how it did shape you as a person. But now you're choosing to move forward and continue to walk the path to the next evolution of yourself. So, I bless you on the journey. I send you my blessings and my good tidings as you continue to walk that journey. It was my pleasure to serve you today with this message, and I look forward to seeing you on the next video.